What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Sideswipe the Boss back at it again with another tier list. And today I decided to go back to the Transformers side of things, and I feel like I'm gonna do two tier lists of the live action Transformers movies. So this is the first one, and it will be on the Transformers human characters of all six of the live action movies. Now, yes, I'm pretty sure there's more than just all these, but I just decided to go with like the main ones and I guess a few side ones that I thought were important. Also, big disclaimer, I honestly don't remember all the names for these characters, so I'm just gonna wing it. I remember like all their roles, but I just don't remember all their names, so bear with me here. And if you know some of these names in the comments, just let me know. But without further ado, let's get into it. So first up, we have Cade Yeager, and he was like the main human, I guess, in Transformers 4 and Transformers 5. And he was a cool character. People be hating on Mark Wahlberg for no reason. I actually thought he did pretty good in the role. Is he better than Sam? No. But I still think he did pretty good for what he was given. So he's going to go in the B tier. Next up, we have Leo. He was from Transformers 2. He was like Sam's roommate. Then he just tagged along. He's going in the F tier because all he did was serve as comedic relief, and he wasn't even that funny, to be honest. So he's going in the F tier. Next up, we have Anthony Anderson's character from the first Transformers movie. I don't remember what the character's name was. And he was also just a comedy relief character, but he actually played a decent role in helping, the good guys win at the end of the day. So he's going to go in the C tier, but I doubt he's going to end up at the top of it, though. Next up, we have Dr. Powell. I think that's what his name was. He was in the Bumblebee movie. And his curiosity is the thing that got him killed. He was overly curious for no reason whatsoever. He's a mad scientist, for crying out loud. I think John Cena's character from that movie called him that too. But he's just going to go in the D tier because he did play at least a little bit into the plot of the story. So D tier for Dr. Powell. Next up, we have Uncle Bobby B. Uncle Bobby B, baby. From the first Transformers movie, played by Bernie Mac, rest in peace. And also another comedy relief character. All he did was sell Sam Bumblebee, even though he didn't know it was Bumblebee, but still. He's going to go at the bottom of the C tier. He could go in the D tier, though, but I'm giving him a little more credit just because it is Bernie Mac. Rest in peace once again. Next up, we have Anthony Hopkins' character from Transformers 5. I don't remember the name of his character, but he honestly was just there to guide Cade and, what was her name? Vivian on their journey. Like, he just did a lot of talking, a lot of, research and stuff. That's really all he did the whole movie. Then, I guess he did have that one decent fight scene where his cane turned into a gun. Then he died right after, so I mean, it wasn't really that helpful. So he's going to go at the bottom of the C tier. Next up, we have Carly from Transformers 3, and I didn't really care for her that much. I mean, she kind of ruined Michaela's little redemption arc, I guess. Well, not really redemption, but just her arc in general when she showed up. And she didn't really do anything except, just stand, look appealing. I mean, I guess she did talk to Megatron at the end of the movie, but that's really it. That's all she did. It's the only cool thing she did in the whole movie. So she's going to go at the bottom of the D tier. Next up, we have Agent Simmons. He was like the agent for Sector 7 in the first movie. Then, he's just like I guess undercover? Was he undercover? Or was he just out of a job in the other two movies? Well, he was famous in the third one. And then he just showed up in a cameo in the fifth one. He was an okay character. I mean, he provided some decent information, although he kind of was just another comedy relief character. So he's going to go at the top of the C tier. Next up, we have Joshua. I think that's what his name was. Like the tech guy in Transformers 4 who made the seed, or I mean, not wanted the seed, and like made the Transformium soldiers for Galvatron. And I mean, he was okay. Nothing too special about his character. So he's going to go at the bottom of the C tier. Next up, we have Sam's dad. And I mean, what what can I really say about him? All he did was like give some good advice here and there, but that's really all his character was. And I guess he tried making jokes, but he wasn't that funny. So he's gonna go put him in the mid D tier. Next up, we have Lennox, and Lennox is one of my favorite human characters in the whole franchise. He's cool. He be doing his work whenever his group goes in, whenever Ness goes in. He be killing it. He be leading his soldiers too. He's awesome to me. He's like one of the best human characters in the show or of the movies. So he's gonna go at the A tier, but he might end up at the top. We'll see. Next up, we have John Cena's character from Bumblebee, and I don't really know where to put him at. Like, he didn't really do too much. This is like John Cena trying to prove he can act, and I mean, I guess it was fine for the role he was playing. I mean, he did help Bumblebee in the end, though, so that was cool. So he's gonna go in the mid. Well, I'll just put him just above Anthony Anderson's character in the C tier. So even though his face is halfly cut off, next is Dutch from Transformers 3, and his character was hilarious. Played by the great Alan Tudyk. I don't know, his character was funny. Especially in that bar scene where he pulled out the guns like he was, 007 or something. That was hilarious to me. And yeah, he was just a cool character. So he's going to go also in the A tier, but below Lennox. Next up, we have the main man himself, Sam Witwicky from the first 3 Transformers movies. And he was a pretty good character. He didn't really warm up to me till like midway through the second Transformers movie. But, after that, he became a cool character. Especially in like Transformers 3. He was doing some awesome stuff. Even though he should have died multiple times doing that stuff. He did it anyway, and gotta give credit where credit's due. So he's gonna go at the top of the A tier for me. Next up, we got Dylan. He was like the human who was working for the Decepticons in Transformers 3. And he was a cool character to me. He was kind of a good human antagonist for like Sam. But he didn't really do too much. I mean, I guess he had a decent fight scene at the end, but then he died. But still, he was a pretty decent antagonist for the humans. So he's going to go in the B tier below Cade. Next up, we have Seymour or Samoy, one of the two. He was a part of Cemetery Wind in Transformers 4. And he was kind of threatening, He was about to shoot, what's her name? No, he wasn't. He was about to order his men shoot Tessa. So he was pretty threatening, and he had a decent rivalry with Cade. So he's going to go at the top of the C tier for me. Next up, we have Sam's mom. And honestly, like, other than that advice she gave in Transformers 3, I really don't know why her character was a part of the show. I guess it was for comedy relief, but she also was not that funny. So she's going to go in the F tier, but above Leo. Next up, we got Lucas from Transformers 4. He was also a comedy relief character, and then he died like at the end of the first act of the movie. But, I mean, other than his character being funny, he didn't really do too much either. So he's going to go at the top of the D tier. Next up, we got Memo from the Bumblebee movie. And his character really didn't do too much either. I mean, since there was a flip-flop, I guess, with there being like a female protagonist with like a male love interest or friend interest, I don't know, one of the two. He didn't really do all too much, even though he did help here and there. He didn't really do a great deal. So he's gonna go just below. You know what? He's gonna go at the bottom of the C tier. Next up, we got Charlie Watts. I think that's what her name was, from the Bumblebee movie, and she was a cool character. You know, she had a cool backstory. She got a cool bond with Bumblebee, even though it doesn't rival Sam's. It's still cool regardless. And, you know, she was holding her own in the movie for real, especially when she had to do that diving stuff. That was pretty cool. So she's going to go at the top of the B tier. Next up, we got Michaela. And Michaela, she was all right. She wasn't really too great, but she did have a decent storyline. She had a decent arc over the first two movies. And I mean, you know, she was a love interest to Sam for the most part. Then I think she did some stuff as well. Like, she wasn't helpless like Carly was. But I'll put her at the top of the C tier. Next up, we have Epps. And Epps he's hilarious. I might as well just put him in the B tier just for him being Tyrese Gibson. Just for it being Tyrese Gibson, I'm going to put him in the B tier. Because he's a funny character. Very funny character. Next up, we got Shane. And he was Tessa's boyfriend, I think. And, you know, all he did was drive. He didn't really do too much in the movie. He just tagged along, then drove when they needed him to. So he's going to go at the top of the D tier. That's really all his character did. Next up, we have that Chinese lady who was like Joshua's guard or something. I'm not really sure. I know it was business partner. Then, you know, she came out of nowhere and started fighting. Then she disappeared from the movie. And then came back at the end. I don't know where she went. But she's going to go in the mid D tier just because it was confusing. It was very confusing. Next up, we got Tessa, who's Cade's daughter from Transformers 4. And honestly, her character really didn't do anything at all. I mean, she snitch and call the cemetery Win? Or was that Lucas? I think that was Lucas. So scratch that. It wasn't her who called them. But she was still being annoying for like 2/3 of the movie. Then I guess she became fine with it, and, you know, she put a hook on a sword, so there's that. So she's going to go at the bottom of the D tier. Just, I don't understand. I don't understand what she really did. Next up, we got this guy. I want to say his name was like Adager or something like that. But he was like the leader of Cemetery Wind. You know, he had a personal grudge against the Transformers. He worked with Lockdown. He was actually a pretty threatening human threat, to be honest. But then he died really easily, you know. Optimus just, you know, pew pew, and he was dead. But yeah, he was still a decent, you know, threat, at least on the human side of things. So he's gonna go at the top of the C tier for me. You know what? I'll give him the bottom of the B tier. Why not? Why not? Next up, we got Izzy. I think that's what her name was. She was in Transformers 5. And other than her, little cool scene at the beginning, you know, taking out those drones, what else did she do? I mean, she was there in the movie. Then she disappeared for, half of it. Then she came back at the end. She didn't really do anything. She was there, to be honest, just to cause problems or something like that. So I'll put her at the top of the D tier though, just because she did have that cool scene at the beginning of the movie, but other than that, she didn't really do much at all. Next up, we got this lady from Transformers 3. I think she was part of the government or something. And honestly, she was just a pain in everyone's side. It was so annoying. A pain in Sam's side, a pain in Lennox side, a pain in Optimus side. Then she want to come out the cut talking when Sentinel betrayed them, talking about Optimus, this is all on you. Bro, what? You didn't even do anything. So she's going at the bottom of the F tier because she was genuinely an annoying character. Next up, we got this lady from the first Transformers movie, and she did play a decent part in the plot of the movie, so she's gonna go just below Bernie Mac. Actually, you know what? Just at the bottom of the C tier. I'll put her there. And finally, we have Vivian. She was like the one who could hold the MacGuffin in Transformers 5. She was a part of Merlin's family, descendant of Merlin. She could hold the staff. Although for like the entire time she was in the movie, except for the end, she was being bogus, snobbish, and stuff like that. She was also genuinely annoying. But I'm going to put her at the bottom of the D tier just because she did have some kind of role in the plot, even though it was forced. So yeah, as you can see, the human element is not the best part of the Transformers films. In the F tier, we have Sam's mom, Leo, and the government lady. In the D tier, we have Izzy, Shane, Lucas, that Chinese guard lady with Joshua, Dr. Powell, Sam's dad, Carly, Tessa, and Vivian. C tier, we have Michaela, Seymour, Simmons, John Cena's character, Anthony Anderson's character, Uncle Bobby B, Anthony Hopkins' character, Joshua, Memo, and that lady from the first Transformers movie. In the B tier, we have Charlie, Cade, Dylan, Epps, and Adinger. I believe that's what his name is. If it's not, let me know in the comments down below. And in the A tier, we have Sam, Lennox, and Dutch. And for the first time, nobody is in the S tier, which proves to you, like I said earlier, that the human element is not really the best part of the Transformers movies at all. So that's all the time we have for today. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the list. Would you change it a bit? Would you change it a lot? Or would you keep it the same? Just let me know that in the comments. Also, let me know what tier list you would like to see next. And if you did enjoy this video, just hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers and making a little progress every day. Every day counts. So just keep on liking, keep subscribing. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.